go again. Yep.
Looking forward to this, as usual, with pint in hand. And lots been happening, so really a question of where to start. How's your week been, all right?
Yeah, I've had a good week, thank you. A little bit of gallivanting in France, which was nice.
Nice.
Very hot, very French. But good. How about you?
Nothing significant even to report. Yeah,
Easy for you to say.
It's not. Nothing significant to report. Did my usual, been into town a few times, just the normal in our town. Few drunks lying on the road. A few people have obviously had too much gear lying around, semi-conscious. I don't think we've got the same problem that some African countries have got at the moment with this new drug. Yeah, it's lying around. Fortunately, the people on the my favourite electric scooters managed not to hit them while they were on the ground, and indeed I managed to avoid them as well.
Episode 4, I think, for anyone that hasn't listened to it.
Yeah, just the joys of those people, plus general morons.
I think the hot weather sent people mad, which is a brilliant segue into our first topic of the weather, the hot weather, which us Brits love to talk about, but in particular weather warnings and the need for weather warnings. It's July, and we apparently need to be told it's going to be hot.
Yeah, just to flip back slightly, I'm not sure if you're deliberately trying to wind me up by mentioning segues, but that's I'll let it ride on this occasion.
I thought you might have let that slip.
Yeah, weather warnings. So as you say, it's going to be hot, and then followed by the pollen count. What that's going to be, but generally weather warnings. I think we're all adults. Just goes back to my whole theory around the nanny status to then stipulating that make sure you keep hydrated. Always a good idea anyway, I find, to drink water or other things. I mean, that does link in. I know it's been hot. Total opposite of my pet hate of when it's raining and significant storms, which obviously will come again with the global warming this year or next year, whenever. But severe weather warnings. Don't go out don't travel unless you absolutely have to. And now we're cutting across to our reporter who's travelled to the scene of the weather warning. But anyway, pet hate.
But they're not really working, are they? I saw in the news that they somewhere in the States, and you'll be shocked to learn this was in the States, but there was a child who was left in a car with some water and some snacks for a day while her mum went to work, and she died because it's...
For the mum?
No, the girl died in the car because she was locked in a car. Well, you don't really need a weather warning to tell you that's not a good idea.
No. Was it the weather or was it the snacks?
No, it was the weather. It was 40 degrees or something ridiculous. So weather warnings. Equally, do we need to be told it's going to be cold in the winter? I think we've got that idea, haven't we? It's normally how it works.
Yeah, but as I say, it's just part of my pet hate around the nanny state as to telling people what they're going to do or the result of it being hot. Therefore, stay in the shade, don't go out. It's going to rain. Take an umbrella with you. It's going to be windy. Make sure you don't have anything in the garden that could be blown away.
Don't figure it out for yourself. You've got to be told. Which brings us nicely on to Glastonbury, which is always a victim of the weather. Glastonbury and the BBC. I'll open proceedings by enjoying the flyover from the Red Arrows at Glastonbury. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't know. Were you there then? Or?
No, I saw it on the iPlayer. Caught up with some of it, and the Red Arrows did a fly past during Pulp's one of Pulp's songs, and because they're obviously woke and they didn't want to upset anyone, they only had white smoke coming out of the back of the aircraft. They didn't want red, white, and blue for fear of upsetting any Palestinians in the audience or anyone in the audience that doesn't identify as a particular.
I thought you were going to say they had lots of different colours coming out the back, but just white. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough of them to do a fully fledged rainbow.
Is there not?
Glastonbury would have done that, but even the woke brigade have got to the beloved Royal Air Force and the Red Arrows, which is just outrageous. And then the BBC have fallen foul of broadcasting hurty words.
Yes. Yeah. What was his name? Bob.
Livid or Livid or something.
Yeah. Bob Villain.
Villain. Oh,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
My research let me down.
Yeah. It's odd, should we say? As to, I'd like to imagine the boardroom or the planning meeting beforehand, where on the minutes of the meeting was along the lines of, well, what are we going to cover? Well, we're going to cover X, Y, and Z. That's not a group, by the way. But we're going to cover these people. And kneecap, no, we're not live streaming them because we know they're a bit of a problem. So we won't live stream that. What about this other chap that's on or group, Bob Villain? Anyone know anything about him? No, you should be fine. Because if they did do a little bit of research, they would have found out that he's a bit controversial. But we'll live stream that.
For fear of getting you cancelled, what did he say? Was it free?
He chanted free Palestine.
Right.
And again, being a lyricist and a celebrated musician who can write lyrics, he obviously managed to get the next one to rhyme, which was death to the IDF.
Okay.
Which
catchy.
It is catchy. I'm not entirely sure as to, as you say, the fear of being cancelled, how many people joined in with it. He's obviously on ever since kind of said, this isn't aimed at Jews or Israelis. It's kind of aimed at the IDF. And even then, I think they're coming from the angle of it's around get rid of the IDF. But anyway, so back to the planning meeting of, why they didn't think to, think maybe look at his history.
But isn't it a case that he wasn't pyramid stage material, was he? I think he was on one of the other stages. So the BBC not just stick up a camera and let it roll? Because they pledged to televise the whole thing.
You're obviously far more down with the kids than I am as to what goes on, and it wasn't the main pyramid stage.
Right. Okay.
So it wasn't the main stage. I don't know how many stages they've got there. I've never been, so it may well be that they've just streaming it. The impression I got afterwards was that someone was still monitoring it, because they kind of said, we probably should have pulled the plug.
Right.
And the kind of irony for me is that, and I know I think they did put some sort of warning out, but certainly if you watch the news every day now, a bit like the weather warnings, it's a horrible world we live in. And generally when they say we're now going to wherever where there's been a bomb and people have been killed, you can generally work out for yourself that the next video cut isn't going to be fluffy kittens and candy floss, but they still put a warning that the viewers may find it distressing. Well, yeah. So I would have thought. I think they did a warning, but you would have thought they'd kind of monitor it as well. And at a certain stage, someone go, maybe we shouldn't be airing that. And then it turns out, obviously, that the Director General or whatever kind of management he is was there as well.
Tim Davey. I was just googling while you were talking there just to get his name. He was at Glastonbury enjoying the whole thing and joining in the chants of from the river to the sea. Yeah,
just for legal purposes, I think we should find that was comedy. We don't know he was joining in with that comment.
No. If the lawyers are listening, I made that up. That was just comedy value.
But I do think it would be worth looking at when we look at the credibility and indeed integrity of an organisation as to why was he there and who was he there with. When we talk about free tickets and such like, I know the BBC are broadcasting it, but when football matches are policed, you wouldn't necessarily expect to see the head of that respective police force taking advantage of a ticket at the event. Just saying, just my thoughts.
Yeah, true. As you say, you don't know if he was there on a freebie or whether he paid for his ticket, but I can guarantee it was a freebie.
Maybe he's got his own group. Who knows? Maybe we're doing him a complete disservice, and he's, it's what's his name? Tim Davey.
Tim Davey, yeah.
Maybe it's Tim Davey and the Dovens
and the Rockets or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he was on the pyramid stage when this Bob fellow was ranting.
But yeah, kind of is there. So why was he there? In what capacity? And where did it all go wrong, really, as to why they didn't cut the feed?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't cut the feed, and they also left it on the iPlayer for people to watch repeatedly. It just seems nobody censored it, but we're anti-woke, so everyone's got freedom of speech to say their piece. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think we've given enough for the lawyers to look at.
Yeah, probably.
Moving on. Well, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Part 3, is that?
That's part 2.
Part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
So Donald Trump alluded to the fact that he could deport Elon Musk. Now, I don't know if that was clickbait, if it was for headlines, because Trump loves a headline if it puts him in a good light. But that would be an absolutely fascinating turn of events.
How do you think it's going to end up then with? Because his big beautiful bill's gone through now.
It's gone through,
which was what sparked it all off.
Which removes the EV mandating that Elon was going to benefit from, Hughes or Tesla were going to benefit from. So it's gone through. If Trump decides not to amend it and leave it as it is, then I don't know. I don't know if he would deport him, but I think that there's potential for that to get even more feisty.
Yeah, I think that some of the bigger questions which people are obviously afraid to ask or address. Firstly, has Trump now sold his Tesla? Was he?
Well, he said he didn't even want an electric car. He wants a gasoline car. He said, I don't know if you call this. He said, or a hydrogen car. He said, but the hydrogen technology is not altogether there. He said because if they do explode, and when they explode, they find you.
So they go proper, don't they?
Yeah, they find you 3 blocks away or something.
So could we start maybe not that he needs it, but a GoFundMe to get him a hydrogen car that isn't quite.
It's explosive. It's not fully tested.
not quite tested. Yeah, maybe it's an option.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big questions, because obviously he had that big press thing where Elon bought a few off-the-shelf options for the Teslas, and I think he bought one.
Yeah.
So as he sold that, that's kind of big question number one.
Well, he won't use it anyway because he's got to ride around in that big Bertha thing, hasn't he? Because otherwise people will shoot him.
Yeah. That is a slight problem to having that job of him particularly. The second question is, will he deport him? That is the.
Where's he from? South Africa, is it?
Trump.
No. The other idiot. Musk.
I think Trump's from Russia. I think fine. Musk. South Africa, I believe.
Right.
So I think hopefully his rockets will be safe, because they're not electric, are they? They run normal.
But they explode, so it doesn't really.
No, they don't explode. I think you got the terminology
off. Episode 3, I think we said that it's an unscheduled.
It's kind of I was going to say dismemberment, but it's kind of a unscheduled disassembly. I think. Yes.
Yeah. Well.
Otherwise known as exploding. So the other thing is that with Musk is that I think he doesn't tweet anymore. Does he tweet? Yeah, he's got Twitter, hasn't he? The ex-Twitter. X. He, I think, wrote on there recently that it would be so easy to retaliate or so easy to write something, but I won't yet. But as we said,
he did write something nice about Trump this week. I can't remember what it was. Something about him. I think it was related to the ceasefires in the Middle East. I think he said only a true leader or something could navigate their way through that. So it was complimentary, which just sound like arse kissing, really.
Oh, well. You don't know. They might be rekindled.
No one for the lawyers.
Or as Trump said, Doge will just get him, and then he'll find himself on a next plane to Guatemala or somewhere, although he's South Africa.
So on the day of recording this pod is the first concert for the reformed Oasis, which I didn't realise because I didn't try and buy tickets at £500 a head. But the first concert is actually in Wales, and I would have thought they probably should have had the first concert in Manchester, being that's where they're from. Now, I do like their music. I was never a big fan. I was more of a Blur person when they were both head-to-head and they had their sort of spats. But what do we think? Is the reunion going to be worth the hype? Are people going to walk away thinking that was £500 well spent? Or is it going to be a flop? And there's going to be sound or visual issues and people are going to say they're past it? Or
I mean, let's be honest, the Gallagher, they've already got sound and visual issues. Without the concert, that's just a personal...
You're not a big fan of them?
Not a big fan, no. And I do wonder whether they're not doing Manchester, because in Manchester they know that they're not that great. Personal view again. But in answer to your question, are they going to be a flop? Is anyone that spends that sort of money going to actually come out and go, well, you know what, that was all a mistake, spending that? I think it was best thing ever. I'm surprised you didn't queue up for tickets, though. I thought you'd fancy that.
No, not really. I mean, I would like to go, but only if it was free
and someone else singing.
Yes, but it'd be interesting, and we'll report back on the next pod as to what the view was about the sound quality and the visuals. And
so, can you name 4 Oasis hits?
Definitely, maybe. See what I've done there?
I did, yeah.
Wonderwall. Don't Look Back in Anger. And no, I can't think of a 4th one.
And that's why I said 4, not 3.
Yeah. No,
there will be one. There will be one. Well, there'll be more than one, I'm sure. Not a fan, obviously, as you gathered.
Okay. Well, the next pod we'll make sure that we have some commentary about it, and hopefully it's a huge failure, so we've got something to mock people about. Looking at the news, the headlines in the newspapers at the moment, this one caught my eye. Gotta love this. There's an Irish sports star. He's I'm not even sure if he's his real sport, which has probably pissed off a lot of our listeners. But hurling, DJ Carey is well known in the hurling world, and he faked cancer, which is not clever. And he got a lot of people to fund him for operations and treatment on a GoFundMe. Anyway, he's been caught out. He's in the circuit court in Dublin's Criminal Courts of Justice with 10 counts of naughtiness. People donating money, including a billionaire, Dennis O'Brien, who gave a lot of money to this Kilkenny sportsman. The thing that caught me when looking at this was he posted a picture of himself in what looked like a hospital bed, and he had a wire up his nose that was taped to his nose, and he doesn't look well looking at this picture. I mean, it helps that he's got a bald head, I guess, but the wire on slightly closer inspection seems to be an iPhone charger with the charging port up his nostril. If you've got a chance to Google it and have a look, listener, I mean, it's amazing that he's done this. However, I mean, tricking people, telling them that you've got cancer when you clearly haven't, is the lowest of the low. But all credit for thinking he was going to get away with this picture of him receiving treatment through the nose via an iPhone. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of quips there, isn't there? But I look at the photo, I think there's more concern about his eyebrows. Probably needs a bit of treatment around those.
Yeah, I hadn't spotted those.
Yeah, they are interesting. He seems to be smiling in the picture as well. I know you smile in most pictures, but not if you're taking one of yourself whilst undergoing
might have been a nurse.
An iPhone treatment. The obvious quip is, well, at least he did get charged because he's got that up his nose. And there's got to be something to do with, iPhone. An apple a day would have kept the doctor away, so maybe he took that too literally. For our younger listeners, probably won't understand that, but anyway. But why you would go through that, and also he's in totally the wrong profession. Called DJ Carey. He needs to.
He's not a DJ.
He needs to be out on
and
the
scene. And he's not Carey.
No. So he needs to be out on the kind of rave scene or something.
It is, yeah, it is odd. But if you've got a chance to look at the internet, the Daily Mail is obviously the source. Have a look at that picture because the guy's clearly not a genius. Also, dog walkers costing the NHS, the dear NHS. This caught your attention, costing them millions.
It did. I think there's been a study or something. There's certainly some research which straight away begs the question as to who came up with the idea. That I know what we do some research into. We do some research into dog walker injuries. But yeah, the conclusion is that millions of pounds could be saved through, not having to do X-rays, surgery, etc., as a result of injuries caused by people.
Dogging.
Yes, that's a whole different show. Of injuries caused by dogs to their owners, or if it's not their owner, maybe
23 million a year.
Maybe a dog,
Wow.
maybe a dog walker who cares for the dog. In which case they should know better as well, because that's their profession. So, linking it back to the weather warning, because the type of injuries they're talking about are sprained wrists, broken fingers, dislocated fingers, people that have been pulled over by the dog. Now, I don't wish to be too righteous about it, but surely you should know what your dog's capable of and how to walk it, so that you're not, how do you get broken fingers from walking a dog? I just don't quite understand. So in many ways, although I've kind of slated it around a study, and as you rightly pointed out, £23 million could be saved. Again, it just goes back to how stupid are people with regard to... I know accidents happen.
Well, we know they're stupid because we need to tell them it's hot. Going back 20 minutes ago on the pod.
Yeah.
We need to tell them it's hot. We need to tell them it's cold or windy or rainy.
Yeah.
Do we need to tell people how to walk dogs without injuring yourself?
Well, clearly we do, because people are doing it, and that just reminded me of another sign I saw the other day. And, we covered on episode 2 or 3 around turds on the pavement, which may not have been dog related. But a sign today I saw said, be a responsible owner and pick up your dog shit. It didn't say dog shit, but your dog's business. Well, why are we saying to people, be responsible? Should we just say, if they're crappy, you're going to get fined?
Yeah.
It's not difficult. Why are we kind of, just let's dance around it as to this is how you really should be careful when you go out in the sun, and God forbid you're walking your dog in the sun as well, because, all sorts could happen. Imagine if a dog pulled you over, broke your wrist, you couldn't get up, and you haven't put sun cream on. It could be...
You're done for.
Could be game-changing,
yeah.
Could be game-changing.
This is why it's costing the NHS millions, because somebody's probably printed 1,000 leaflets to put in the doctor's surgery to warn of the risks of walking dogs. There's probably a page on the NHS website about taking precautions when walking dogs.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's been done yet. That'll be another few million.
There'll be somebody with a high vis and a clipboard thinking about that. That's the next step, because they need to reduce that 23 million. Yeah. But also, if my dog pulled me over and I did something, I'd be too embarrassed to go to the hospital. I mean, I know people go to the hospital with all sorts of embarrassing injuries, but it's just a complete waste of the NHS time. So, people, if you are walking your dogs, take precautions. Yep. Don't fall over. Know that if the dog wants to run across the road to attack another dog, know the strength of that dog. That dog could pull you over and dislocate something.
And make sure you know how to cross the road. Refer you back to cross-reference our last episode of knowing how to cross the road.
Particularly in the hot weather. You've been warned.
I mean, let's face it, the odds are stacked against people now, aren't they, with weather and dog walking and not crossing the road properly.
Don't go out.
Yeah.
Stay at home.
It's probably best. But it's not on our list of things to talk about, but something else, talking of money, is the £500,000 that the government have spent on a 130-page report, I think, just to instruct civil servants how to properly use the dot in the gov.uk address, because there's a bit of a rebrand gone on.
Ah, good. Money well spent. How should that dot be used?
I haven't seen the actual document, but there was a bit of a visual, and it's to do with, I think it's moved up and changed colour. But it is quite important. I mean, I've got experience of working in the civil service, and there's lots of pages of templates as to, depending on whether it's minutes of meetings, letters, memos or whatever, as to which type of, where the logo may be into which department.
So it's the branding police.
It's all about the branding. It's all in the branding.
How much did they spend?
500,000.
Okay.
Yeah, that's to produce the document.
We could have done that for half of the price.
We could have done it, yeah. What worries me is the fact that then there's going to be, if you could accumulate You know, if it's 135, whatever it is, page document, as to how long that's going to take the average person to read. So when you look at costs as to someone reading that, to make sure they're spot on and au fait with the guidance.
Spot on, I like it.
Yeah, so as to that's a few thousand as well.
So I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. There were terrible scenes in the House of Commons.
Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday, with PMQs, where Rachel from Accounts was in tears, literally streaming down her cheeks. Nobody wanted to see it. And there was a lot of criticism that, as a politician, you know, a cabinet, leading force in the cabinet, she shouldn't be so tearful, she should be tougher. But I think, isn't it just a case that all of her fuck-ups are coming home to roost, and she realised that, you know, the country dislikes her immensely?
It could be that. Although they're obviously saying it was a private matter, nothing to do with politics.
The woke police have come out.
So I'll take that at face value. Keir obviously didn't realise she was upset.
And to be fair, he stands in front of her. She was behind him.
I thought she was trying to be too behind him at some stage, actually, knowing that she was kind of trying to hide there. But yeah, I don't know. You say no one likes to see someone upset, and no one should be stressed at work. And yeah, they are human. What for me? Yeah, kind of. Well, what for me is the biggest factor of all. Again, for anyone that's interested in my view, is I would call into question her judgment and those around her who didn't think. If those around her didn't know, that's fine. But she didn't just suddenly become upset because something that happened as she sat down. You know, I would worry about her judgment as in charge of trillions, that she didn't go, you know what, boss, Keir, look, I've got this going on. It's not going to be a good look if I sit there. So yeah, they're going to take the piss from the opposition bench, but I'm going to have to sit this one out because I've got some things going on. As to what stage she thought it would be a good idea to go in, knowing she was upset.
And PMQs are always a time that even somebody as stupid as Kemi Badenoch would jump all over that and see that she's on her back foot and go for the jugular.
Yeah.
So you're right. She should have probably pulled the sickie and said, "I need to miss this." And I don't know if her missing it would have been such a big deal.
I don't think it would have. I think they would have taken the because what got on the day before with the welfare bill, or whatever that's ended up being. You know, I think they would have gone for it. But you know, if Keir was worth his salt, he could have batted that off and say the reason actually she's not here is a private matter, and I'd ask you to respect that.
But instead, he was quizzed as to whether she would still be there.
Yeah.
In a year's time, and he didn't give that.
Yeah.
I listened to it, and he dodged that, which is obviously what made her get a little bit teary.
I'm not sure. Was that?
Well, no, it was obviously whatever issue she's got going on, which hopefully that gets sorted out. But people do say that a PM that loses his chancellor generally doesn't survive. So it will be interesting he can't really replace her, I don't think.
I mean, why he didn't say, yeah, she'll be here. He tried to make a joke of it that, the opposition, that Kemi wouldn't be, and he can't be done for misleading Parliament. If he said, well, at the time I genuinely thought she would be. I think the only possible worse answer he could have given rather than the one he did would have been, well, I'm not sure that I'm going to be here in a year's time. So,
or to say, I'm not sure if any of us are going to be in a year's time.
Yes.
That would probably be a slightly worse answer then.
Yeah.
So the Express are reporting that the migrant delivery drivers are in fact illegal immigrants. Who knew?
Well, most people, I think. I don't use them, but I've nearly been run over by a few. Probably mentioned it before. So yeah, I mean, again, for the lawyers, we're not suggesting that all migrants are delivery drivers, or that all delivery drivers are migrants.
Apart from the ones that are.
Yes, yeah.
But I guarantee that a higher percentage of delivery drivers that use cars or motorbikes don't have insurance for deliveries.
They certainly don't bloody have them on scooters, I know that much.
No. But if somebody rocks up with your takeaway in a car,
Yeah.
I guarantee that car is probably not insured for use as a part of a business.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if any of them were to run you over, their insurance wouldn't be valid.
See,
The insurance company would turn around and say, "Well, Mohammed wasn't insured for, or whatever his name is, John, wasn't insured for business use."
See, that surprises me because I thought by law you had to have insurance if you were doing that sort of work.
Yeah, but this report also says that somebody is a Deliveroo driver or a Just Eat or other food services are available. Uber, and even more services are available. But I think they just pass around the sort of qualification or the approval from that company.
That is shocking if that's the case. I can't believe that such devilish behaviour.
There are a number of migrant hotels where Just Eat and Deliveroo bags are positioned outside, and I think they take it in turns.
Yeah. Today,
Mohammed, it's your shift. You're doing the 1 o'clock in the morning until midnight shift. You take the bag, and I've got no doubt that a lot of them are migrants and not insured.
Mm. Well, the Sun have taken it one step further because they've investigated. I think it was the Sun investigated a migrant hotel where the kitchen is. I think it's called Big Boy Burgers. So they've taken it one step further. I don't think there's any suggestion that the migrants are in the kitchen, but the hotel, which is obviously being subsidised and paid for by the government. Taxpayer. The kitchen, as well as doing, and I don't know what facilities you get if you're staying on those hotels, whether they cook food for you as well.
It's all inclusive.
Is it all inclusive?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I don't know whether the kitchen is already open or whether this one's been particularly opened up as a fast food restaurant, which clearly the hotel owner or owners are getting kind of double bubble, paid for people to stay there and using the facilities free of charge to make a profit with burgers.
So we always like to end our pod with some woke news that will rile our listeners as much as it riles us. This one is, I think this is a warning for any of us who have been to a football match or any sort of event where we've been at the train station and we've sung a song. But an Englishman has been criticised. I think he was English.
No. Scottish man.
Scottish man has been criticised.
He's probed.
That's right, for singing The Flower of Scotland at an English train station. I assume he was on the train heading to Twickenham to watch rugby, along with a load of other Scots, and they're singing The Flower of Scotland, just the same as Englishmen would sing.
Don't say Sweet Chariots because that's been banned.
Don't know, what would Englishmen sing? Oh, the Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline.
Okay.
So why is this an issue with him singing this? I mean, this is wokeness gone absolutely mad. That he can't sing the song of his choice.
Yeah.
When he's watching Scotland play rugby, thousands of Scottish fans all waiting for the train that's been delayed by leaves on the line or something.
Yeah, I mean, where it was, I'm not sure, but as I think you covered, it's recorded as a hate crime. Why that is a hate crime. If it's unacceptable, it's unacceptable. Just go, don't sing. There's other examples as to what other people have been investigated for hate crimes. Pub landlord blocked a transgender woman from using female toilets. Just say don't do it. Don't investigate for a hate crime. I would suggest. Investigate people on. Have I mentioned electric scooters and insurance? Do that. Spend the police time doing that, investigating burglaries and things like that. Not hate crimes, which are non-crimes anyway, apparently.
GB News are reporting that Stephen Dixon, one of their hosts, gave a scathing 4-word verdict. I don't think this is particularly scathing, but he said the world's gone mad. I mean, for Stephen, maybe that is quite scathing, but yeah, I mean, it is a classic example of wokeness, which this podcast is absolutely trying to stamp on. But let the man sing what he wants.
That's us then for another week, and as we've said before, if we could be at all bothered, we'll do another one next week. But to avoid us doing all the work, you're really welcome to have your input. If you have a gripe that really grinds your gears, then please share it with us.
You can contact us via the website www.grumpy-pod.com or WhatsApp direct to us on 07873 207 206. We have a no woke agenda, so the slightest hint of woke or apologetic slant, your message will be filtered straight to the deleted folder. However, if your gripe is suitably amusing and needs our expert opinion, we will include it in the next pods. Thanks for listening and hope you can join us again soon. Bye.